G'day guys, welcome to Primal Waters. Today we're going to continue the talk on does the Megalodon shark still exist today and what evidence is out there to prove this shark could be swimming around out there. Now I'm going to give you probably three, alright, so you guys can go off and have a think for yourselves. Like I said, you got to look outside the box. The evidence is probably there right in front of us. We see it on the news every day, we see it in articles, so why couldn't the Meg still be a shark that is swimming around out there? Now, I think today the Meg that lived 2.6 million years ago is probably a different shark than what is swimming out there today. I think for it to have survived, it would have had to evolve, adapt to the different environment, its different food source. So the 60-foot shark that we read in stories, I'm saying this shark today would probably be around about 30 feet in length. So not as big as a 60-foot one, but still bigger than what a great white shark or the biggest great white shark is. So I'm going to give you three possible stuff that I think is evidence that one of these sharks still exists out there. And like I said, go have a think about it. And remember, you got to think outside the box here, all right? So a 30-foot giant megalodon shark. There's stories that go back decades of fishermen and whalers encountering sharks of this big. We can talk about whale beachings that occur around the world. I talked about this only not long ago about whales. Just recently there was some type of pattern last year from New Zealand to Australia. Two different species of whale would beach themselves. Now, up until now, I don't think scientists and marine biologists actually know what's actually causing this. It could be human-made. It could be environmental. Something's happened in the ocean that is disrupting the whales' patterns, or biological. Is there some type of species of animal that's out there that actually scares these whales to beach themselves? So there's that there. And then the third one is, I guess, is pretty much been looking, staring us right at the face all the time, is when whales wash up or you see whales floating out the ocean, you see them on the news, and most of the time the news is more focused on the sharks feeding off the whales, not what actually caused the whales to be there. Now, I know whales are struck by ships every year, and most of the time that's probably a lot is the reason behind most of these whales' deaths. But what if they're not? Is there actually people who go out there and actually look at the cause of this? I know it's probably easy for the ones that wash ashore, but the ones that are actually floating around out the ocean, does anyone really go and have a look at what actually caused this whale to be there? And most of the time, by the time after the smaller sharks have had a feed of these whales, there's probably not too much evidence left. So, and also read that I'm not too sure a lot of you guys actually know that after a while, the whales which are floating around out there eventually do sink. So how much of that evidence ends up disappearing all along? So there's three things you can think about. Another one too, which I've read in my comments before, is that the Meg used to be a shallow water creature, used to swim close to the coastline. Like I said before, the shark that we read about that lived 2.6 million years ago is probably a different shark that's swimming around today. And that shark probably doesn't hang around the coastline. It's out in the deeper water, where its food is. So, but there's a couple of things there to think about, guys. We've had stories of, I don't think the Meg is the 60-foot shark it was. There's stories of 30-foot sharks, sightings from fishermen that go way back. Whale beachings could be caused by something large out there that's actually preying upon the whales. And three, the evidence that, people say, oh, if there was a Meg out there, we'd see evidence washed up. Well, there we have it. We've got whales there. We see whales that are floating around out in the ocean being eaten by sharks. And does anyone actually go out there and have a look at the real cause of it? Never know. Underneath, it could be a massive bite mark. So, But like I said, I do these videos so we can discuss these things. We can look at outside the box, and you never know that one of these sharks could exist out there, somewhere in the deepest parts of the ocean. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you drop a comment down below, hit that like button, share this video. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.